Ndugu zangu wa Kenya, hamjambo? Good evening. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. God is good all the time. And all the time God is good. Thank you very much.
You have said about bringing number up to 10,000. But in the current situation, I know how more than 2,000 can come up immediately.
Very good.
Because last year we did research with the Korean shipping companies, of which, okay, I'm a marine engineer myself. I've worked in a Korean company, but I could not get opportunity to get into a Korean company because I don't have a certificate of competence for Korean company. But there has to be an agreement between Kenya and Korean government. Therefore, I failed to join the company. But the opportunity was there for shipping company and shipping industry. So in this case, we collaborated with the shipping companies last year. We did with the Hyundai Merchant Marine, Sinoco, Polaris. They have a capacity of more than 1,000 ships. And with those 1,000 ships, most of the people who are employed there, 60%, are from Southeast Asia. However, there is experts who are operating in Kenya as volunteers in JKUAT who give me the opportunity. When we conducted the research, they said that the companies are willing to employ Kenyans. So with that remark, having, first of all, Kenyan government made an agreement with other shipping company from Europe, the MSC, they employed more than 2,500 so far. And this one, if one ship can accommodate around 26 people, it means that for more than 1,000 ships, there is 26,000 opportunity. And whatever is remaining, because already the framework is in place, whatever is remaining is government-to-government engagement. So I would just request your office to fast-track this engagement. This is the only opportunity I had. That's why I lifted the hand.
I want to tell you, Joseph, that's
Yes,
why
sir.
I'm here.
Yes, sir.
That's why I'm here. Sijakuja utalii.
Yes, sir.
Na sijakuja matembezi.
Yes, sir.
I have come here specifically
Yes, sir.
for the opportunities you have mentioned. And I mentioned the blue economy intentionally.
Yes, sir.
Because the minister here, Kipchumba Murkomen, will tell you,
Yes, sir.
we already have a brief
Yes,
on
sir.
exactly what you have said.
Yes, sir.
We already have a brief on exactly what you're saying.
Thank
from
you,
the
sir.
people working in the shipping companies,
Yes, sir.
on the opportunities that we have, and the training. So already we are tailoring training, and that's why Utalii College in Mombasa, the new Utalii College in Mombasa, the Bandari College in Mombasa,
Yes.
has now tailor-made courses
Yes, sir.
for people working for shipping lines.
Yes, sir.
And that's the reason why I am here. So
Yes, sir.
I think you got a leakage of why I was coming here.
I did not get a leakage, sir.
Okay.
It's because I'm in the maritime.
Very good.
I suffered having not gone to the opportunity to go to sea.
Yes.
So now I'm a PhD candidate.
Yes.
I went for master's for PhD because I cannot be accommodated on board. And so I cannot practice currently. However, with a few ship owners that I know,
Yes.
I can be able to assist the Kenyan government. And
That's why
We try.
you must have a chat with Kipchumba Murkomen here.
yes, sir.
Yeah? Because he's our minister responsible.
Yes, sir. I will be happy.
And for your information, just on the engineers specifically you mentioned,
Yes,
we are actually signing an MOU tomorrow
yes, sir.
on getting our engineers, the engineering institutions in Kenya,
Yes.
to have an understanding with the engineering institutions here,
Yes.
so that a person like you
Yes.
cannot be discriminated going forward.
Yes, sir.
So that's what we are going to be doing tomorrow.
I'm very happy with your government, sir.
Actually, after our student visas expires, we are forced to leave this country. There is no any other way we can survive unless we seek for asylum or go illegal, whereby actually many Kenyans here are forced to go illegal because of visa problem. So is there any chance or any opportunity Kenyans after studies, they can be issued with a working visa to stay here longer and maybe do other things apart from even beside their career? So
Okay.
that's like one of the, that was biggest request we might ask
Thank
our
you.
president.
Thank
Please
you.
you discuss with
Thank you.
the current president. Thank you.
I would advise you not to go illegal. And I would also advise you not to do asylum. The reason why you heard me say that we want to have a conversation with the government of Korea is so that we can create opportunities that are legal. We can have an understanding on what kind of professionals we can, who can work in this country. And even when you finish your studies, we will work it out so that if you are working in the space where we already have an agreement with this government, you should be able to transit from your education to working. And if it is not, we will make sure that there is a transition mechanism that does not entice you to do the wrong things. We are also creating opportunities back at home, by the way. We're not saying that opportunities will only be found outside Kenya. We are also working our economy. When you hear about our housing program, it's about creating jobs for artisans, creating jobs for engineers, creating jobs for architects, creating jobs for all the people in that space. When you hear about our blue economy, it's about creating jobs. When you hear about our agro-processing and value addition and why we should process our tea at home, it's also about creating jobs. So you will have an option either to work here or to work at home. That's what we are saying.
Within the next 6 months, our telcos, Safaricom, Airtel, Telecom Kenya, Jamii Telecom, they have come together to produce the first truly Kenyan handset. Yeah. We are trying to woo MTN of South Africa and Vodacom of South Africa into that project so that it does not become just a Kenyan phone, but Kenya becomes the home of a truly African phone. We mean business, and we are going to reverse this trend. I want the next time we have this kind of bilateral meetings, I don't want to ask my president to come and knock the imbalance of trade between Kenya and South Korea that favors South Korea. I want to hear South Korean minister asking their president, please ask these Kenyans to come slowly.
One of the things that we'll be doing, and that's part of the diaspora affairs and working with the other colleagues of trade and agriculture and health and others, is to ensure that Kenyans are taken care of. That is why we'll have a trade office in the embassy that will be able to handle your issues in terms of importation, in terms of regulations, in terms of being able to open businesses and be able to support you. If we need letters so you can get credit in Kenya, we'll be able to write those letters. Because if you're making money here, it's good for you as a Kenyan, but it's also good for everybody else who is in Kenya. Because you'll be able to remit money and we'll be able to gather those goods here. One of the things that we are doing is that we are adding value to our products. So when we sell coffee, we don't want to sell raw coffee that comes here and then it's processed and then sent to the rest of the world. We'd like to sell coffee here that has already had value addition. It's already processed. South Korea buys flowers. They love flowers. They have flowers everywhere, you know. But the flowers they buy here are from Kenya, but they are stamped made in England. Because they go to England and then they are brought here. We take our flowers to England, then they come here. The rest of the world, we went to other places, flowers are taken to Netherlands and then they're taken to other parts of the world. We want to be able to sell our flowers directly. Zinachunwa asubuhi kule Naivasha, by jioni ziko hapa, so that we maximize on the money without the middleman. And that's some of the things that Moses Kuria and Agriculture Minister that will be sitting down with their counterparts to discuss some of these things. Let's open up the markets for our people. And then the Kenyans can actually be importing the flowers directly from Kenya. Sioni mzuri hiyo, together with other products. We're also working on a program for M-Pesa. If you want to send M-Pesa home, we want to work on a program so that you can actually use your numbers here and be able to M-Pesa straight home without money being lost in there. That M-Pesa system pesa ile nyingi inabakia mfukoni.
Our Kenyan coffee is one of the best coffees in the world, and most of the coffee taken out or taken all over is blended by the coffee. We bring coffee here, then it's sold, it's used to blend other coffee, and then we can get it back at very exorbitant prices. One thing I want to tell you that I'm aware of is that Korea has very good market for coffee. My predecessor somehow missed the export market for coffee here in Korea, because there is a trend that there are people that came from Korea all the way to Kenya, and they went to my own county, Meru, where they had serious discussions with people from Meru Cooperative Union, and their agreement was to have direct export for coffee in this particular country. But the necessary instruments or requirements that we were supposed to have done, somehow that did not take place, and I'm ready and willing to fast track that process to ensure that we have our coffee coming here to Korea, so that you people will have the best coffee around. And secondly, we will be able to get a better price for coffee for our farmers that are doing it in Kenya.
What you have done today by making this trip at the invitation of His Excellency President Yoon marks a journey that is going to transform the relationship between Korea and Kenya. So all the things that you've been agitating for, the hardships you've been having in Korea, I expect a good amount to be resolved by the fact that our head of state is here and he's going to table some of these issues, and we at the mission will continue to follow them up. Overall, Kenya carries the flag of our country very, very high, from the diaspora to the mission. And I thank you, my fellow diasporans, for really being a pleasure to work with.
You have made history as the first head of state and government of the Republic of Kenya to make an official state visit to the Republic of Korea. On behalf of the KCK Secretariat and all Kenyans resident in the Republic of Korea, I would like to extend our warm welcome to you and all the Kenyan government officials present. The Kenyan community in Korea was established in early 2007 to bring Kenyans living in Korea for bonding and finding solutions to the challenges that they faced from time to time. So far, we have approximately about 300 active members spread across the Korean Republic, which we have mapped into 6 KCK regional branches. Your Excellency, we are grateful to the Korean government and the Korean people for hosting us and being so kind to us, even during the COVID-19 pandemic. As is the Kenyan spirit, Kenyans have been assimilated into the Korean community in terms of language and also in terms of lifestyles.
We have come here to transact business on behalf of the people of Kenya. We are looking forward to a couple of meetings. And among us, the items that we are looking to discuss with our counterparts here are matters of security and how we can enhance our security posture as a country, how we can build our Navy and other security agencies that will help us not just secure our country, but be able to exploit, much more importantly, as part of the program that we have, the blue economy. That's why, for the first time, I have set up a ministry that will be responsible for our blue economy, because we have huge resources. And this great country has the potential to work with us, either as public or even private sectors, to be able to leverage on the blue economy to grow our economy and to create a food secure nation. We will be having a conversation about our technology and ICT and the digital economy in general. Again, I have set up a ministry responsible for creative economy and ICT that again will focus primarily on how we can leapfrog our country from where we are to the next level using technology. Just to let you know, we already have a big program with Korea in Konza City, which is actually our Silicon Savannah or our technology hub. And we are seeking to build on that platform to elevate to the next level. There are already discussions that have gone on, extensive discussions. We intend, with my visit, to consolidate the discussions that we've already had so that using technology, we can push our country to the next level. By December next year, all government services will be on a digital platform. You can transact. You can transact your business. You can pay for your electricity bills. You can pay for whatever you want to pay for, either for yourself or for your loved ones or your parents or your brothers or your relatives, right from wherever you are. You may want to know that only 20%, actually almost maybe less than 15% of government services are on a digital platform. But in the next 12 months, every government service will be on a digital platform to reduce on costs, to reduce on unnecessary bureaucracy. And that is why, if you read our manifesto, we have built into our manifesto an expanded 100,000 kilometers of digital superhighway that will bring on board additional areas. All our schools, I think we have 29,000 schools in Kenya. We've said every school must be connected to the internet. Every market must be connected to the internet. And we are going to work with the private sector and all the public institutions to actualize that. We have a plan on the how. And as you work hard to change your lives here, we will work hard to change Kenya, and hopefully with all of you on board. That's part of the conversation we are going to have with the good people and the government of Korea, because they already have supported us, and we work together on the Silicon Savannah in Konza. Kenya is a big player. You may want to know that we are probably the country in Africa that has close to 90% green energy, and we intend to take it to 100%. And we have a plan on how to leverage our position so that we can attract funds to be able to manage the damage and loss occasioned by climate change. And as you are aware, that's why we have huge drought in many parts of our country, not because of mistakes of our making, but the mistakes of others. And we had a candid discussion in Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt on the big subject of loss and damage, which was elusive for the last almost 5 years. But finally, in Sharm el-Sheikh, the final resolution was that loss and damage is going to be quantified and a special fund set up to deal with loss and damage by countries like Kenya, who are paying a huge price, yet contributing very little to the damage that climate change is causing to our globe. My focus is that we have 400 of you, 300 plus or minus, in Korea. I am looking forward that the next time I come to Korea, we will have 10,000 Kenyans working here. I know many of you may be planning on how to come home. I am planning on how many more Kenyans can be coming to Korea. So we'll have to meet somewhere in the middle. And I think it's good for you to come home, but for holiday. And then you can come back and continue doing the good you're doing. And I say this specifically because, you have to understand what is your competitive advantage as a nation. As Kenyans, we have the best human capital anywhere in the globe. And we must recognize that. We have the best human capital anywhere in the world. Speaking good English, creative, innovative, hardworking, self-driven, friendly, educated. You rarely get those many qualities in one bundle of a human being, but you get them in Kenya. And it's because of that spirit that Kenyans are different everywhere they go. And because we have a competitive advantage in our human capital, we must leverage on it to make sure that we expand opportunities for our country. I am looking. Today, we are receiving about $3.5 towards $4 billion every year from our diaspora. That's roughly about 400 billion Kenyan shillings. I am looking forward, God willing, in the next 5 years, to push it from $4 billion to $1 trillion. We have the best human capital, and we must use it to drive our country. Therefore, prepare yourselves. We're going to be negotiating tomorrow to see how more of our technicians, more of our engineers, more of our teachers, more of our clinical personnel can find work in the 100,000 foreigners who come and work in Korea. 10,000 Kenyans are not too many. From 100,000, 10,000 ni kidogo. Tunaweza kujikaza na hapo. So, and I will make this deliberate. The Ministry for Labor already has the script on what we need to do, not just for Korea, but for the globe in general. Kenya is now growing to be a big exporter of avocado. We are already the leading exporter of tea. We are the leading exporter of coffee out of the continent. And I was having a conversation with a minister who came to receive me this evening. And I was telling him that the Lipton English breakfast tea and all these other teas that you hear about, those are actually Kenyan teas. The people who are calling it English breakfast, the English themselves, they don't have a single bush of tea. They don't, right? And our position is the following, that we are now going to have a common user facility in Mombasa, in the special economic zone in Dongokundu. As you're all aware, we are exporting 95% of all our tea unprocessed or semi-processed. That is going to change. My position is that in the next 5 years, at the minimum, we must move from 5% of processed tea to 50%. And then in the next 10 years, we should be processing every gram of tea leaving Kenya. That way, we will not only double our value of tea, but we will triple, maybe even quadruple the number of jobs that we create in that space. So we're going to be deliberate about what we are going to do. And I want to promise you that we're going to work together with you guys, continue sending us the good ideas that you have. We will continue to have a robust engagement. We're going to see how we can open channels of communication between your government and the citizens of our great country so that we can build this together. We want to set up a mechanism that is approved and understood by the government of Korea so that we can have opportunities for Kenya to work here legally, you know, in a structured manner, because that is the relationship we want to have with the government and people of Korea. So we will work with the government here to see what opportunities of the 100,000 people who come to work in this great country, what opportunities we can secure, in what areas, in what professional areas, in what other areas we can secure for the people of Kenya who are extremely hardworking and creative and innovative people. So I don't think we will miss the opportunity to agree, because I am very confident myself about the work ethic of the people of Kenya. They have never let us down in terms of being hardworking, creative, innovative, and self-driven. We have several institutions in Kenya that we've been supported by the government here to set them up, and we even build the curriculum so that the curriculum they teach in their technical training colleges here is the same curriculum we are teaching in the colleges they are sponsoring in Kenya. And we are working with them to develop the same curriculum so that we do not necessarily have to send many Kenyans here. They can actually get the training in the institutions back at home.
Bro, nataka ku-expand biashara yangu lakini manze hizi app zote za loan manze zinanikata.
Pole ndugu yangu, lakini nikuulize, umewahi tumia hii app ya POS inaitwa Vib?
Vib?
Vib. Sasa Vib ni app yenye inakusaidia kumanage busy yako. Unaona sasa? Sasa ukiona hii app, ukipiga transactions zako zote through Vib, unaweza pata kitu inaitwa credit score. Unaona? So kwa hii credit score, depending on how you score, unaweza borrow loan from Vib. Unaona? So in the next like 3 months ukitumia Vib tu vizuri saa hii, unaweza borrow a handsome amount, alafu uweke kwa busy yako na uexpand busy yako.
Acha hata ni download tu saa hii.
Download saa hii.
Shukran manze.